options for drilling spot welds, which is a great way to separate panels. As you can see here, we're starting to remove the rocker panel at the seam here, which is going to be probably one of the better ways to do it, as opposed to just welding all across the seam. It'll look more factory. You won't have a big long weld to prep afterwards. But in any case, your options for removing those spot welds are several. You can just use a regular drill, but as you can see, the tip of a drill bit is conical. It's not flat. So usually by the time you get down to where the end of the spot weld is, you're going through the base plate of metal that you want to keep. So that's not ideal. Other options include a kit like this, which is nice. And you actually don't need the kit. You can just buy this here, which has a little spring-loaded drill bit on the inside to give you a pilot hole so it doesn't wander. Because if you just use that flat bit for the spot weld drilling, it would not stay in place. It would wander out of that area. So you have this piece there, and you can see as I would start, there's a spring-loaded bit there like that. And they do come in other sizes, but there's kind of a standard size, and this is the standard size. This one is a little bit more options, but again, not totally necessary. This one has a slightly different option. Instead of a drill bit, it has a little point end on there that would fit into a previously drilled hole. The best option, but most expensive, is a tool like this, which is a dedicated spot weld drill, and that's great when you can have access to the back side, because this puts pressure on it. You won't be able to do that if you don't have access to the back of it like that, because there are going to be some spot welds that won't be the case, and then you just have to use a drill with one of these. But let me show you how this works. And this works at a certain RPM, because actually the spot welding drill bits, they don't like to be a real fast RPM. They'll wear out relatively quickly. But this has two levers, one here which turns the drill bit, and then this back one here, which you can see brings that out to place pressure on it. And you can operate it with one hand, although it's easier to. So you can see I'll just place just a bit of pressure right over the spot weld, and then it actually has a couple little grooved feet next to the bit to keep it from wandering. So this thing really does stay in place pretty well. And you can feel it when it gets to the end. Right, this one will actually stop, so you don't go all the way through. But there you have it, gone through to the base piece of metal, which is what I'll end up welding onto.